Welcome to Wanderings and Wool Gathering, episode 111. Tonight we are reviewing Rammstein's Zeit. We are also going to be picking a 5-person Avengers team, and we're giving them theme songs. That's pretty exciting stuff, isn't it? And at the end of this one, we're going to talk about issue number 4 of Sandman as we journey our way through, leading up to the exciting release of the Sandman TV show that comes out, I believe, this June. And I'd like to thank our sponsor, the Kokomo Lantern. It's a journalistic endeavor focused upon the simple principles of illuminating the good and eliminating the shadows in our local community. Head over to kokomolantern.substack.com to sign up for all of that content. I'm your host, Foggy, and joining me tonight is none other than JPP.
Easy listening sounds for the hard of hearing. It's JPP.
Did you say JPP or did you just say PP because you cut out?
PP.
Okay, just want to make that clear. Hi, folks. I'm PP with a J at the beginning.
Pepe Le Pew.
Indeed.
I'm canceling you.
Well, I've always been that way.
You've been canceled, my friend.
Season 1 didn't even make it past the pilot.
It's so sad. That's right. We have backup. You know who we have? Guess.
Yes. You have Daredevil.
Nope. Guess again.
Better. You have Better.
But in the same vein of Stan Lee, we do have alliteration.
Oh, got it. It's Malicious Mallory.
Close enough.
Step inside into his mind. It's boy band time. It's
Metalhead Monday.
Hey guys.
And there he is, the man himself. Welcome.
Howdy.
It's been a minute since our last show. We had some issues with illness and whatnot, and Mother's Day and all that kind of craziness. So we're back.
Yeah, this one's been pushed a couple times, so I'm glad we're here.
Yep. Had some Easter, had some Mom's Day, all that good stuff in between.
Fantastic.
Hey, got a cool story for you guys.
So
I know you probably saw it on Facebook, but we'll just tell the public. Hold on. Hi, kid. I'm on a show. Well, okay, that's fine. Sorry.
Hi, kid. I'm on a show. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we have a local coffee shop that's pretty killer around here. I love their blended iced coffee called the Flying Monkey. It's normally the Jumping Monkey, but if you add an extra shot of espresso, it's flying. But it's got peanut butter, banana in it, mocha. It's flavorful. Anyway, the owner sells some random merch in there, too. She has a wide array of old folk and country vinyl in there. And sitting at the front, I just happened to look, was Van Halen. And this thing's in mint condition, and it was only $12. So I said, shut up and take my money, and ran out of there as fast as I could with that bad boy. So
that is awesome.
Have you listened yet?
I haven't had a chance to listen yet. I need to wire the turntable back up, but I'm looking forward to having this on loud enough for the neighbors to enjoy.
I love the vintage vinyls, and but when you compare some of them now, like to the 181, oh my gosh, the difference in the way it fills the room and the clarity is so nice. The new pressings are absolutely delicious.
Well, I will say that's very cool, and I mean that's probably one of the best debut albums ever.
Yeah,
but it's not as cool as a milky white vinyl Jack the Radio record.
It's milky white. No, that is very cool. I love the colored ones. Those are so cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that old Nestle commercial from the 80s. N-E-S-T-L-E-S. Dreamy white. You remember that at all?
Do you remember when Faith No More sang the Nestle song in concert?
I do.
Oh, it was so good.
The good old days.
And speaking of Jack the Radio, I know you saw the picture, but our good friend Kevin Rader sporting the Wanderings and Wool Gathering shirt in concert.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that was very
Awesome.
cool. He's a great guy.
Yes.
He is. Shout out.
Shout out. You know what it's time for? We need a theme song. Paul, you going to write a theme song for Challenge?
I can.
But will you?
talk to my agent. We'll get that going.
Hey, Mundy, do you have him write a song for us?
Sure, as long as I don't have to write lyrics.
Well, there goes.
All right.
There goes the production.
All right, well, we're doing it. So a couple weeks ago, we did the Justice League, and we picked a 5-member team, and we made some awesome choices for their theme songs. This week, we are doing the Avengers. And now that I look at my team, it is wonky as all get out, but I'm
Mine
excited
is too.
anyway. I think that's kind of fun. And we also have a guest who has thrown in his hat in the ring with the team as well. And do you want me to do that first, or should we do that last?
I don't know. I feel like maybe we should get his out of the way. He tried to show it to me the other day, and I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Okay. Well, he sent it to me, and it is the amazing one, Andy Jenkins.
I hope I'm bright enough for him today.
You're never going to be bright enough for Andy.
I am the Illuminati.
So his team is it's an odd one. I kind of love it. Oh my gosh, he picked one of the same songs I did.
Nice.
But I can't tell you which one. So his team is Taskmaster,
Nice.
and he chose Birthday Massacre, Walking with Strangers, Juggernaut, and that's Ludacris. Move, bitch. Totally makes sense. Yep. Sandman, Archers of Loaf, White Trash Heroes. So I don't know that song. I know White Trash Heroes, but I'll have to go listen to that song. And then Cosmo, very interesting choice. He chose Rocket Man by Elton John. Perfect choice for Cosmo, I think. And then last is Gilgamesh, and he chose God's Gonna Cut You Down, Johnny Cash.
Nice.
So that was his
team.
Team.
He's got some deep cuts on there.
He definitely does.
And he's kind of all over the place. I guess these would maybe be some redeemed villains, I guess we might call them. I don't know.
Sure.
Anti-heroes, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they put chips in their brain and they blow them up if they get off track.
Something. Maybe it's like a Thunderbolt situation. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start them up. So, JPP, who is your first member of your Avengers team?
Well, I've kind of went for the reformed route as well, and I chose Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose a nice AC/DC banger called Inject the Venom.
Nice. Ooh. Nice.
Yeah, well, Venom could definitely be on an Avengers team these days.
He's kind of back and forth,
mm-hmm.
you know. And, that's a, deep cut AC/DC song.
Yep.
Jeez. And now Venom is connected to Eddie's son, Dylan, which adds a very cool new dynamic to the character, I think.
Every time I hear the name Dylan, I think of Commando. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Not Bob Dylan for my daughter.
No, I'm sorry. I go right to Schwarzenegger. It's the testosterone in me.
That is by far not the best line in that movie, though.
No.
You can't be, let off some steam, Bennett.
That or, what happened? I let him go.
Is that where it all started? Was that one? There were so many good one-liners in that one. I don't know if that's where it started for him, but
that, and I think he threw was it not when he threw a knife and stuck a guy and he's like, stick around.
Yeah, I just think those were in all of his movies.
They were, but I don't know what the first one was.
For sure. My daughter is a fan of Last Action Hero. I got to preface with
Mm-hmm.
that as well. So
good soundtrack too.
Indeed.
I'm gonna guess none of those started in Conan.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Or Hercules in New York.
All right, Monday. Before Paul gets off the rails any further, what do you got?
Oh wait, no, I'm just kidding.
My first member, I'm gonna go with my heavy hitter. I had to go with She-Hulk.
Ooh, nice.
Love that character. Jennifer Walters, very cool. Really looking forward to the show. Her new series is cool. It's like 3 issues in, I think. And for her song, I debated on a couple with this one, but I went with Just a Girl from No Doubt.
Ooh,
because
nice.
I think that kind of plays to the character of She-Hulk, where some people may consider her like a lesser version of her cousin,
Mhm.
and just a girl kind of talks about, being underestimated because you're a female and all that stuff. So I thought it worked.
Yeah.
And
No,
I can
like
see
it.
I can see Jen rocking out to that.
I've never read. I want to read the Peter David run on that, and I have not.
Okay.
So, have you read that one completely?
Probably not completely. I don't think.
Yeah, that's kind of like the go-to, I believe, isn't it? Because it's considered like the
Peter David
Bible.
She-Hulk.
Yeah. And didn't he like have a killer run on it?
I don't know. I don't remember his name. You had the original series, and then the one in the 90s started out with John Byrne, and he left and came back, and it kind of floundered a little bit when he left, and then he came back, and it was just kind of a humor book.
Yeah, it's got an omnibus.
And
So
then I want to say, gosh, I feel like it was Dan Slott, but I don't remember.
he was later. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that Peter
Okay.
David had the first big run, and yeah, it's got an omnibus for Marvel, so
Okay.
it must have been considered a good one. So
I'm actually not familiar with that then, I guess.
yeah. All right. Well, my first choice is Thor, and I went with this one first because it's my crossover song. God's Gonna Cut You Down, Johnny
Nice.
Cash, and maybe Beta Ray Bill would have been the better choice there. I don't know, but got to have some muscle on the team and a little God power.
Beta Ray Bill's definitely better visual.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a super cool looking character.
Yeah.
Hammer's cool. That first issue with them together and the big fight and everything and him beating Thor and all that was very cool. All right, JPP.
Yes. I went with an old standby. Wolvie, good old Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to think of something that I realized my first choice was like, damn, I did that with Lobo last time. I'm not going to do Killer Wolf by Danzig. So I went with Dirty Black Summer because it's kind of got that swagger and fits, the yellow spandex cigar chomping Wolvie era quite well. And
Yeah,
plus,
I love that
Danzig
song.
and Wolvie are kind of one and the same.
Both short, feisty.
Yeah.
Both great singers if you take Hugh Jackman into account.
Now you're talking.
All right. I did not have Wolverine on my team. Bundy, did you?
I did. I'll go ahead and throw it out
Yeah.
there now.
Cool.
I picked Wolverine just because, I don't know, sometimes you gotta have somebody willing to get their hands dirty. So Wolverine is the best there is at what he does, and what he does is not very nice. So my theme song for him, though, I went with the Rage Against the Machine cover of Street Fighting Man from the Rolling Stones.
Woo.
Good
I don't
one.
know if I've heard that cover.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
I don't know that I have.
Well, let's pause the show and go listen to it, and we'll come back.
I love the Stones version. I mean, we listened to that a ton in high school, so
Yeah, Rage did it on that covers album they put out.
I
It's
will
on
check
there.
that out.
It's very, very good. And Paul said yellow spandex, but Wolverine, I always have to go with the brown and yellow costume. That was always my favorite. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. That 90s cartoon. I don't know. You didn't like that?
No, I don't.
Wow.
That era, there were tons of shows. Like there's a Spider-Man show from around that same time.
Yeah, they were back to back on Saturdays.
Yeah, like they're not terrible shows, but the animation's a little rough on those.
See, I don't want to go back and watch it because I loved it
Yeah.
as it came out, and I'm afraid now it would not live up to what I thought it was.
My thing with those is Marvel did like several shows around then that felt pretty similar, but putting that up against Batman the Animated Series, it's no contest for me.
The animated series started right after those, though, right?
About the same time, 92.
Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, but so if you take them all into account, though, that's a pretty good time for animation in that
Yeah.
in that genre. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yes, they were getting comic book properties out there. Yeah.
now,
For
was
sure.
that not super cool of Danny Elfman to put that in Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Yeah.
Please tell me you've seen it, so I didn't ruin it. Okay,
yes,
good.
we did.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
when they
what? You
played
did-
that
they what?
little tidbit of that theme song, that was so cool.
Yeah. That's
Definitely
a
a
whole other
highlight.
tangent for another day, man. That was
Yeah.
that was a fun ride.
Yes, indeed.
I was going to say too, with that era of X-Men, it was also a fun time for the arcade at the Kokomo Mall because they had that X-Men
Yes.
game that took a lot of my quarters pretty quickly because I kept dying
Yeah.
off. But
That
that was a lot of fun.
That was a great side scroller. Fun
Yeah,
game.
it was. It was.
Yeah, we had that in Bloomington. We played a lot.
Oh, those
Okay.
were the days.
I'll go with my second character, and I'm going to go with sort of the opposition with Thor, and I'm going to go with Damon Hellstrom, known as Storm, and I chose Charlie Daniels, Devil Went Down to Georgia, because he is
Nice.
the son of Satan, and a very cool character. Lots of depth to him, and I thought so. I'm kind of building my team for opposites, and then my final character, everybody is going to be a pain in the ass for him to deal with. So
I done told you once, you son of a biscuit-eating bulldog, I'm the baddest there ever been.
that's right.
That's probably closer to what it would be now because Charlie Daniels, well, didn't he pass away? He passed
He is
away
dead,
recently.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, eventually he was born again, and I think he moved away from performing that song at all. But
Really?
when he was still performing it, he took out the swear and all that stuff. So
I'll never forget my day at Ball State when I was in college, and he performed at the auditorium there. And
Oh, wow.
I happened to walk by the bus, and I could see through the front of the bus, and he was in the back, and he was kind of had his arms just kind of reclining and enjoying himself, had his cowboy hat on, and I gave him a nod, and he gave me a little hat tip.
Nice. I'm just saying, I haven't missed church in, I don't know, 20 years probably, and I would sing that song in public
yeah.
in its full entirety. Okay.
We'll see you at karaoke.
Yeah. Third round. Here we go, JPP.
Okay. You ready for a wild one?
Yes.
Abomination.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought, let's get kind of dark on that one and see, if we can flip him a little bit. I'm a big fan of Tim Roth anyway, so.
I was
But yeah, anyhow, I chose Doomsday by MF Doom.
Nice. That's a different character though.
This is true, but that song is killer, and MF Doom was killer as well, and I thought that would kind of fit the texture of Abomination's flesh and all that kind of stuff.
That's
Are you guys
cool.
with me? That was strange casting. For
What do you mean?
Tim Roth. I'd always felt just a little off for me.
I mean, I don't remember his last name. It's Emil something.
Yeah.
As that guy, like I think Tim Roth is perfect. He can play like the cold, evil,
Mhm.
guy, but I don't know. I mean,
Give him his wallet, honey bunny.
Yeah, once you
Yeah.
get
That's Tim Roth to me.
Yeah, once you get to Abomination, I mean, it's all CGI anyway. So
Yeah. I don't know. Just always felt a little wrong to me. Just maybe didn't fit me personally, but all right.
True that.
That was a good choice.
Thank you.
This is going to be the craziest list ever.
Indeed.
Monday.
I'm going to throw out Beast, little Hank McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Little Kelsey Grammer.
He is he's kind of my big brain on this team. So, and he's the Beast, so he's pretty cool, and he's been an Avenger a few times, so kind of walks between the Avengers and X-Men worlds. I could not find a great song that I loved for him, so I went with an obvious kind of stupid song, and I picked I'm Blue from Eiffel 65. Just because I hope it's an earworm and it gets in somebody's head.
La 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 la.
Da-ba-dee-da-doo-da.
But it totally fits.
Yeah, I mean, he's blue. So.
Exactly. I mean, nobody can argue with you on that. That might be the most appropriate song tonight.
Lord help us.
Lord help us all. All right. What was the official title of that song?
It's called "I'm Blue."
Just I'm Blue. That is it.
Well,
Okay.
it's called. I think it's called "I'm Blue," and then parentheses. I believe it says "Daba D" or something like that.
I'm just gonna go with I'm Blue.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
you'll find it if you type in "I'm Blue" on like YouTube. You'll find it.
Didn't they use that in Iron Man 3?
I don't know. Did they?
There was a
I don't
song
remember.
at the intro that was kind of one of those era of tunes, and I can't remember if that was it or not, but it was an earworm nonetheless that you're like, what are they doing with this?
Right. So my third is, are you ready?
Ready.
Emma Frost.
Nice.
And I chose Short Skirt, Long Jacket from Cake.
Very
Nice.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
There are some lyrics that I think are kind of appropriate to her in her diamond form, so to
Yeah.
speak. So, and I Cake could work for a lot of characters because they're so quirky, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the title of that song works for her too. Short
Exactly.
skirt, long jacket. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, JPP number 4.
Number 4, one of my faves, and probably an obvious pick from me, and maybe a lame choice in some regards, but of course, Ghost Rider. You got to love some Ghost Rider action.
Mhm. I
I chose, much like Monday went with Life is Blue, I chose Life is a Highway.
what?
Nice little, juxtaposition there. Got to see him riding his bike, or Robbie Reyes riding in the hot rod, and hear "Life is a Highway."
You take one of the most badass looking characters and give him the least badass song ever.
It would be just fun to watch for a minute. Don't lie.
That's
You
pretty
would
good.
like it.
Would.
There you have it.
All right, Monday.
All right, I'm gonna throw my leader out here.
All right.
I went with Captain America, the Sam Wilson version,
Sweet.
because I'm a big fan of Sam, and I love the look of the Falcon Captain America costume.
Mhm.
Very
Agreed.
cool design.
Mhm.
And this is the one I probably struggled with the most coming up with a song, because I was like, I mean, like, what would Sam Wilson listen to? And then there's like the whole thing where when he was getting to know Steve in the movies, when he was getting to know Steve after he was thawed out, and he recommended like I think a Marvin Gaye album to him or something.
Yep.
And I don't know. It took me a long time to settle on the one, but I'm thinking, Sam Wilson, he's flying around. He likes the classic, iconic R&B. So I just went with Higher Ground from Stevie Wonder.
Nice.
Nice. That is good. And so he's the captain of your team, so to speak.
Indeed.
Nice.
Then I'll go with my captain. And it's also Captain America, but it's Steve. And this was so easy. It's John Denver, Take Me Home. So Country Roads. It just seems like so innocent and sweet and perfect for him.
Yeah.
And I love him on this team because he has to deal with Thor, Emma Frost, and Damon Hellstrom and keep it together. So
Good
that
luck,
was
Cap.
kind of the point. All right, let's round it out. The final member of each of our teams.
Yeah. So I didn't go strategic like y'all with the brain and the leader and stuff. Apparently, I just went with people that could.
That's just my thing.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
to plug those holes.
Yeah. I just went with a bunch of ass kickers. I chose the Punisher.
Nice.
And
Which logo?
I went with the Punisher. Probably the classic logo. Not
Yeah, I think you got to go classic.
Yep. But his theme song would be "Mama Said Knock You Out."
Yeah, like it.
I don't know. I don't know if I see Frank Castle jamming out to some LL Cool J or not.
He doesn't
Maybe.
have to jam out to it, but he'd make one hell of a montage with it.
That acoustic version, though, when they did Unplugged for that, oh
Yep.
my God, that's amazing.
It is. That was a fun thing. That what's funny is that Unplugged session and the Roots Unplugged are probably two of my faves.
Yeah, Alice in Chains Unplugged was just phenomenal as well. But back then, man, when that was out, that was like they had everybody who was hot at the time on Unplugged,
Yeah.
and it was good. And
Yep.
Nirvana's Unplugged was pretty damn good too.
Yeah, that's iconic too.
I
What was
feel
it,
like.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like Frank's more of maybe a crooner guy, maybe a Sinatra guy.
Yeah, he probably is. I mean, you're right. He's got that vibe going. For
But
sure.
anyway.
Something to calm the beast. Now, I was going to say, speaking of Unplugged, what was it that was it the bass player from Nirvana had like friends don't, or from Alice in Chains? Sorry,
Yes.
friends don't let friends cut their hair when Metallica was sitting in the front row after the haircut incident. It's funny the things you remember.
Inside
from
jokes.
That. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
Good
Pearl
stuff.
Jams was pretty good at that point too. They were at the height of 10 and everything. So I guess it's still around, but I don't see it much. I guess it's lost its luster for me.
For many people, apparently, because I haven't heard about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
All right.
I don't get out much.
Yeah, same. Monday, who you got? Who's your last?
Well, my last slot's going to my tech person, and I didn't really want to go with Iron Man. I didn't feel like I needed him on this team. So for all of their tech needs, I decided to go with Vision.
Good.
Sweet.
And just because I thought it was hilarious, first I was going to go with Mr. Roboto from Styx. But I decided not to do that.
Yep.
And I really put some thought into it. And I'm like, I think this, just the title alone really works for Vision. And it's More Human Than Human from White Zombie.
Oh,
there you go. That's a cool one.
That's a great choice. Is it Vision or is it White Vision from the show?
No, just Vision.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now, after all the happenings of Doctor Strange, who knows what the hell's going to happen to White Vision?
This
Yeah.
is true. Yeah. I was thinking if it was Vision who was, having his fling with Wanda, he could have had Sample and Hold from Neil Young. He needs a unit to sample and hold.
The only song from Neil Young we care about on this show is Florida. Okay. Get it straight.
That's Teabag's fave.
Speaking of teabags, I'm pulling a teabags for my last choice.
Go for it.
Yes.
I hate it when you say pulling a tea bag.
Yeah, don't Google that, listeners, please.
He really doesn't, folks. He loves that. You know who my last character is, right? Oh, come on. It's Marvel. It's behind me.
I mean, Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil, yeah.
But it's both of them because they are both currently Daredevil, and they're going to do a duet as they come into the scene, and they're going to sing Islands in the Stream,
Nice.
Kenny and Dolly,
Nice.
together because they are loving each other right now.
Love that song.
Yes. So there you have it. That's
Awesome.
rounding it out. Oh, that was fun.
It was.
Next week, it's Defenders with Paul. But this could go on forever. It's just too much fun. So, but actually, speaking of Paul next week, he does have the challenge. Do you have a challenge for us?
I
Mr.
do.
JPP? You do?
I do.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
Give me me. Hello.
You.
Yes.
Clicking my pen.
Yeah. Oh, ASMR. Yes, we're push. I'll get the old push pencils from the
Hey,
80s.
when are we doing a mukbang while we're doing this?
What?
It needs to happen. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, so with the warm weather hitting us now and scorching, it's a good time to have the top down in the car. Not on me. Get on the motorcycle for those who do that. What are your three favorite driving tunes?
Oh, okay. Okay. Some road tunes.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Jerry Maguire taught us anything, somebody has to pick Free Fallin' from Tom Petty.
Okay, I pick you.
So
Life is a highway. What?
we're halfway there.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh, Lordy Bagordy.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. 3 next week. 3 driving tunes. I like it.
Cool.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Pulled that one right out of my nostrils. Anyway.
You did, and you pulled a good one. You are Mojo Jojo, and you got those nostril hairs. So
Hey, if they had a parent in the camera,
no, it's
gosh.
Jojo. What is it? I don't know.
What?
Anyway, It's that crazy character. Somebody will fix me on that one.
From
But he's got the no. It's gosh, what is it? Is it Joe? I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up. But he's got long nostril hairs that go out and do things. They're like I don't know, like tendrils that go out and grab things. And
All right,
I feel attacked.
it's not Mojo Jojo. He was in the other one. It's Bobo. Maybe that's it. I'm gonna look it up. It's a crazy cartoon.
But there we go. King Nose Hair, the Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo. There you go.
Something
See?
like that. Gosh,
That's great stuff. You thought I was making that up.
Did you guys get my comment? Oh my gosh! Well, I just looked up and I'm like, "What's happening?"
Yeah,
You got all these
there's
pluses?
lots of pluses.
Apparently, he approved.
I had my notebook laying on the keyboard.
No, I'm going that he's giving me thumbs up over and over.
Nice validation. That's why we do this, folks. Love me.
All right. So let's move on to real stuff.
Oh,
You know
no.
what real stuff means for us?
Taxes.
It means Rammstein.
Oh,
Zeit.
shit.
Rammstein.
I'm going to say, looking at the cover and then looking at the image on Apple, I don't know what it looks like on Spotify, but I think they're kind of like lined up on something. Very cool photography.
Mm-hmm.
And the placement and the composition of the photos are very cool. This thing is definitely an artistic looking endeavor. I dig it.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the inside of the artwork. I've seen the cover. That I don't know what you got going on here with this red thing over here. I've not seen that.
It's
Like
magic.
the cover, the album cover is just the picture of this whatever they're walking out of, like a full size picture
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, I like this one because they added that extra piece. But if you notice, they're still lined up throughout here, coming down from whatever that is they're on.
Yeah.
It's kind of continuing that theme of being in a line for the photo. So perhaps I will add the other photo so you'll see what I'm talking about.
Sweet.
All right, so JPP, start talking about the album while I look up this picture.
Well, bear with me here because my computer is starting to act up. Can you hear me okay?
We got you.
Okay. I just want to
Oh,
make
there it
sure
is.
because it's beach balling and everybody's just kind of... Yeah. So this album, I mean, the last one that came out in 2019, the self-titled, was like probably my album of the year. Absolute banger. I was looking forward to this one. I'm not going to say I hate it, but I'm going to say that it certainly came in a little more mellow than I was anticipating. I thought, man, are they going to keep going up? And they do what they want to do. I'm not going to be mad at them, but it was definitely a little bit of a different direction in some aspects, a little more simplistic in some of the riffage, but some of the melodies in this thing are still fantastic. Toll definitely delivers vocally. I don't know half of what he's saying. I need to look up the translations, but texturally it fits very, very well. It's Rammstein in 2022, post the last release. I shouldn't say post-pandemic, but definitely on this side of it, because I know if I'm not mistaken, I think he spent some time in the hospital with pneumonia right at the turn of COVID, and it wasn't COVID related, but at the end of the day, it was still very sick and very down for the count, but glad to see him spring back.
Yeah. When it comes to the lyrics, you're talking about Rammstein. I could care less. I don't. It's Rammstein. It's all about the riffs and the keyboards and Till's voice, and I don't care what he's saying. I mean, it's German. I'm not. If anything would ever make me want to learn German, it would be just so I could sing Rammstein songs and know what the hell I'm saying. But
yeah. By the way, did I say Toll? I meant Till.
yeah, I knew. You're fine.
It's not
But-
showing up. I hate it. Okay.
I keep
But,
saying Sandman. It's like every time you do that, I'm like, do I talk about Sandman now? Do I talk
Well,
about
I added a slide over here, and it's not showing up, and it was the one that we talked about where they're lined up. Compositionally, they're diagonal, which is very
Yeah.
cool.
Gotcha.
I really dig it.
That would make for a fun challenge. It's like, okay, cut midstream and start talking about something different.
Well, I did look up some lyrics because that's what I do. And the interesting thing about this group is you nailed it, Paul. Like, this is definitely softer. There's more melody, and the German language is probably one of the uglier language. There's the glottal stops, and there's lots of kind of things going on. It's not a pretty language.
It's aggressive.
It definitely is. And then like Zeit, the second track, they got a beautiful piano that kind of chimes in. And the message, that talking about we keep dying until we live, looking for that moment to hold on to. There's like some really cool lyrics in that song. And if you don't dig it up, they're all in German. It just goes right over your head. But it's still fun to listen to because it's a cool song. But let's just go back to the first one. I know you guys aren't in love with it. What did you think about the first one as far as a album opener?
I didn't think it was a great opener, honestly. I don't know. I don't feel like it really jumped out and grabbed me as much as some Rammstein songs do. I don't feel like it set a tone very well for like a whole piece, but it's not a terrible song. I mean, I don't think anything on here is terrible. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all Rammstein, so I'm in for that. But I mean, it was just an okay song. I really enjoyed the chorus. Sounded really nice, and like Rammstein are the masters of putting really cool riffs with really cool keyboard parts. And I mean, there's a whole lot of that throughout this whole album, and they definitely started that off here.
Yeah, I agree with that. Usually in that opener, you look for something that's maybe, and they're never radio friendly. I don't mean that, but something that's a little bit more upbeat, a little more driving. And yeah, this one was a little bit tame. The synths were definitely subtle, just kind of setting a mood in this one. They weren't like later where they were laid with the guitar and you could really hear them and they stood out. I like the song. I just don't know if I would have called this like a great album opener.
Yeah, it's got a good drive to it. It's a little slower, you know what I mean? And so some albums start off with the high octane, right? Like Testament's low. That's a tune that just really sets the pace for the rest of the record. To Mundy's point, it's not a terrible song by any means. There's some really great guitar sounds. It's huge and full. The chordal direction of the guitars is really fun as well. But it just kind of, it's a subtle head banger, not really bang over quality.
Yeah,
hard hitting.
And I feel like we run into that again and again on this album. That's what it's kind of. It's not bad. There's nothing bad about this album, but coming off of Deutschland, that was the name of the album, right?
The last one we did 2 years ago.
Yeah. Coming off of that one to this, it's just way less intense. So I don't, it's kind of like, oh, cool, new Rammstein. Oh, okay, it's Rammstein being pretty.
Yeah, I will say you hear that again. I just think other songs do it better than this one did.
Yeah.
And so then that brings us to the second song, Zeit, which is definitely totally chill. That piano, the line I talked about, and I kind of dig this thing about the moment. And I did translate this because I was trying to figure out, it's the name of the album, so this had to be significant, right? And it's, if only it could just be forever, but time knows no mercy. Already, the moment is over. It's like time is so fleeting. I love that that idea. And then we keep dying until we live. So live in your moment, and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, given the past 3 years, I mean, that completely makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't know how much time you got left. You got to get weird with it.
Lots of beautiful piano in this, and Till's voice, as singular sounding as Till's voice is. Like, I mean, you can't hear that and mistake it for anyone else. That is Till Lindemann.
True.
I mean, but he sounds so good with like these toned down, pretty piano parts. He sounds so good with that kind of stuff. It's almost the juxtaposition of those two sounds just works so well.
And that brings
This
up a
one,
point. Go ahead.
The guitars in this song are really cool, but I feel like there's a version of this song where you could take the heavy guitars out completely and it would still work.
Yeah, his voice can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And this drove a point that I forgot initially when I was listening to this. I was actually on the road listening to this, but this tune here really kind of ramped up that theme when I listened to it a second time. Was this album is somewhat theatrical, more than previous efforts, and I think that's what
a good word.
That first tune definitely has kind of that dramatic vibe going, and then this one kind of plays into a soft scene, if you will, and the rest of the album actually kind of paints that theatrical picture too. I wouldn't say operatic, but Till is definitely, his vocals are very clean and pretty, for lack of a better way to say it, in this one as well. But then when he starts getting deep and more speaking the German and stuff like that, where it gets more aggressive, you can definitely hear and feel the tones, as well as just in general somebody just flatly singing over a tune, or some of the heavier tunes where it's all guttural vocals all the time, it starts to feel flat. This does not.
Yeah.
And you're right about like operatic. There's, one of them starts with a choir.
Yeah.
There's another one that has a chant-like quality. So it's not just him, doing his thing. There's some cool additions here that I think make this album pretty nice.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to just talk about some highlights from here? Since, we all kind of figured they're very similar in nature. They all start off slow. For the most part, we get that kind of chugging guitar, cool grooves, keyboards. What songs really stood out for you?
I actually there's a block of songs in here that were kind of my highlights, like tracks 4, 5, and 6, out of this world. It's a gifted. I think they say it giftish, or whatever, and then Zigzag and Okay.
Yep.
Those 3 songs are, man, that's like a killer block. Giftig is, it's classic Rammstein with the, guitar and synths kind of synced up, playing the same type of thing. And it really, they complement each other. Zigzag is one of their videos, one of the singles, has a really, really great build up to a very cool groove and riff. And Okay is super solid Rammstein riffage, and I think the keyboards are the real heroes of that song. There's a lot of different keyboard parts and sounds in this song that are very, very cool, and it has a really, really great breakdown at the end. Those 3 songs, that block is very, very cool.
Okay had a KMFDM vibe, and not like they're ripping it off, but it just had that feel in some aspects, especially when the riff had some low parts and going up to the higher register power chords too. Just reminded me of some of the angst era KMFDM.
Yeah.
So it's funny, Mundy, that you say that. So my comments almost mirror yours exactly about those songs. The thing about Giftish, however you say that, what I was hearing was those keyboards just laying over the guitar, playing the same sound, but complementing each other so perfectly. Just made it feel full, like it really filled the room, which was so cool. And that was the one where I felt like the chorus had that chant quality.
When Rammstein do that, when they layer the keys and the guitars together playing the same thing, they always seem to do I don't know what you call it. I don't know if you just call it like one of their tricks or their signatures or whatever, but they layer them together playing the same thing, and you get the high end of the keys and the synths and the low end of those super distorted guitars. And man, it just feels, it's like a whole picture. It just completes
a total package
sound. Yes.
It really
so
is. Good. Yeah. And Okay, I had that the same way. This one started with that choir effect in the singing, and then it went into that cool groovy synth, and then the guitars matched with it, and then you add that super catchy chorus that it had. And you had mentioned killer, and I put on here the matching guitar and keyboards were killer in this one. And Zigzag, did you read the lyrics? absolutely hilarious. So
No.
It's all like joking at plastic surgery. And it said the one line that stands out that is just hilarious is, and belly fat in the bio bin, the penis now sees the sun again. So it's just so fantastic. And that is right in the wheelhouse of Rammstein.
Be right back. I'm going to get on the treadmill.
You're doing it the old school way, huh?
Did you have you seen that video?
I haven't watched it yet, no.
Oh my gosh. You mentioned the plastic surgery angle, and wow, the video is like, it's hard to look at because they're all made up. Like they've had like a bunch of plastic surgery, and it's like, they look grotesque.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. And then right after that, for me, that block continued a little bit. Was it Mindtronin? I don't even know how to say this. What really sucks, but
Mindtronin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
dude, super low and heavy.
Yeah, that was really dark in a good way,
and it felt like a power ballad in a way,
mm-hmm.
like an old '80s power ballad somehow, but like kind of new improved Rammstein style.
Yeah, that was a dirty guitar riff, man.
Yeah.
So good.
Heavy guitar after that slow build, which was really cool.
Yeah, and that rolled into Angst, which is which is a very cool video. I would also recommend.
Yeah,
and
I watched that earlier.
That one, Angst, kind of has the like a classic Rammstein kind of the staccato riff.
Mm-hmm.
The a lot of starts and stops within the riff. And I highly recommend the video. It's very cool.
Great bass tone, might I add.
Yes.
Yeah. And then another highlight of the album is
my favorite song, the best title ever of any song ever. Dicke Titten.
But honestly, what a great song. Like that beginning, doesn't it sound like a song you might hear in a propaganda film or during a military parade?
It's very German. Yes, it is very old school German. You got the tuba holding down the low end, and
it just sounds like, man, this is total like military. Yeah, look at us, and then all of a sudden those heavy guitars kick in.
Yeah,
so
that's a
cool.
wall of guitars right there.
This
beautiful.
This really was. This was my favorite song on the album. I loved it.
Yeah, fantastic. And it like the other ones had a nice catchy chorus. Singing was fantastic, and it had a feel at times, even though it was so heavy, like an '80s pop song. Just strange, but such a cool one.
And what's funny though, when I thought about it, like the first time I heard it, I'm like, is this like a thing in heavy music now? Because like they did this, they mixed it with like kind of the traditional German music, and then you had Ghost doing 20s.
Yeah,
like they had that 1920s feel, kind of blending that in with the song. I was like, I guess
I kind of hope it is. I think where that's heading.
Yeah.
I don't want it for a whole album, but when you throw it in on a few songs, it really like makes a stamp on the album. I think.
Yeah, they both worked. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't know what the title meant at first, and then I looked it up. I'm like, I can get behind this, or in front of it, for that matter.
It was the next one, Lugen, however you say that.
Lugen.
Was that a harp? What was that playing at the beginning? You know, Paul, or was it just synth, or was it keyboard?
That sounds very harp-like to me.
I thought it was, but you never know now with technology.
With Rammstein, I would guess they would probably have an actual harp because they like playing with that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, what's funny is, look, based off of this conversation, I mean, there's a lot of heavy reverb on it, which is very cool. But there's actually a YouTube channel of a young lady that gets all sorts of effect pedals and hooks them up to her harp.
Oh,
so she's playing with distortion and stuff. Or
she's awesome.
She's very cool. And so, this, when I first heard this, it reminded me of her channel, and I ended up in a rabbit hole that night watching several of those again. That's very good.
That's cool.
This song, Lugen, it like, when it starts, it kind of just feels like almost just like Till's kind of telling a story.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like he's telling a story. And it's so weird because it just kind of is this the one? I think this is the one where his vocals just kind of get more and more intense and crazy, and they throw auto tune on there.
Yes, I did. That was hilarious.
As a choice, it's very interesting. I mean, Rammstein, obviously, they don't just do auto tune,
Right.
like pop stars do. But
Well, it's not covering an inadequacy. It's just a choice on a song, song, and it works because of that.
Yeah, it makes it very interesting. Yeah. And then I wrote down on this one at the 2-minute 12-second mark, there's the guitars and synths play this riff, and it is just wicked. Just wicked.
I listed it as triumphant guitars.
Yeah.
At same point. Yep.
That works.
And then that brings us to the last song, and I don't know of a better album closer than the one that says goodbye, literally.
Yeah.
Adieu, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen.
And I don't know about you. Did you notice as he sang the chorus that it sort of wilted, like as it was going out, almost just like indicating the end of the record compared to the other songs?
I think I did catch that.
I see what you're saying. This was probably my favorite track on the album, actually, because
Really?
the way the melody played, because it went da 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 da, and then it resolved in a different way too. It's really interesting because there was a YouTuber I watched recently. She's been analyzing a ton of Nine Inch Nails songs, and it's something that I've heard and I know what's going on in a way, but the way she kind of explained it just really drove it home. That she did a Massive Attack tune. What's that song? It's the one that was the theme from House.
Teardrop.
Yeah, and talking about the way thirds, basically the third of a chord determines if it's major or minor. And
you know what? I think I watched the Teardrop video.
Yeah, and the way they resolve it either as a major third or a minor third, sometimes they play with it in the middle of the song, so you can't. The key is a little ambiguous. This one did that exactly, and that's very cool. And it's something that I've done subconsciously through the years, and it's Trent Reznor's fault because he does that all the dang time. You know what I mean? And just to know
it's
that
just in there.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just something that really lets you wrestle with the tonality of the song and change the mood without really using some of the classical techniques and stuff. It's very cool. I can get nerdy for hours, so I'll shut up now.
No,
I've not seen a ton of that girl's videos, but I did see that one because everything you're saying, like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I saw her breaking down Teardrop. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to hear how some of the melodies were very subtly changed and all that kind of stuff with the vocals too. So
all right. So JPP, what would you give it as a rating, and will you listen again?
Oh, I'm listening to it. Yeah, I mean, it was after the 2019 release, that thing just hit me really hard. So I was a little taken aback, like, whoa, we're pumping the brakes a little bit, but I do like it. I don't hate it. I'm going to give it a 3.95. We'll listen to it again, and that ending was beautiful.
Yeah. That's cool that was your favorite song. I would not have thought that.
I would not either.
Yeah. Monday, what do you have?
I dropped my pen.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I don't know. I mean, with Rammstein, just because it is Rammstein, it's hard for me to go lower than a 4. But again, just coming off of Deutschland to this, it's just very underwhelming. So I think honestly, like I would have to go like 3.75.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a 4.
Cool.
At least. I'm not a huge Rammstein fan, and I don't know if it's just because it's in German and it's not pretty, but the musicality of the band, especially on this one, I thought was just elevated. I loved it. I felt like this felt like a complete record, a nice closer. I will definitely listen again. I've listened a bunch, and I even listened in the car today. Like my notes were done. I could have just done the show without, but I just chose to turn it on anyway and continue listening. So there are some, and I want to go back and check out more of the lyrics to Zigzag because that is hilarious. So good stuff.
Well, definitely, I would recommend to anyone. I think it's Zeit, Zigzag and Angst that they have out right now. So
The videos, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. it checked out on
I
my
don't.
end.
You guys cut out, so I probably cut out on your end. But yeah, Zeit, Zigzag, and Angst are the videos, and I say every time Rammstein comes up, their videos, even if you hate them, their videos are interesting.
Indeed.
So,
Yeah.
Quite cool.
Yeah. And just a lot of musicality, different instruments, a lot of cool stuff going on. So great outing for the band. So I liked it. Next week, we don't know what we're doing. We're still looking into it. Monday is pushing for Backstreet Boys again. That's what he does. And we're just not sure what we're going to do. So you'll find out next week.
it's my homies.
Yeah. Hey, how was the NKO TV show last night? They were in town with on Vogue and others, I think.
They were. Did you see who all was on that? It was In Vogue. I would have gone to see Rick Astley. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, my daughter would too.
And who else was there? Somebody else was there. Salt and Pepper.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spinderella in the house.
Man, I did not know that. I missed that for sure. That would have been fun. They were good back in the day. Oh,
Yeah.
Monday, I got to tell you, my wife is now in the Lizzo camp.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She got a
This
hold of
house
It's
big
About
Lizzo
Damn
fan.
Time, and that's been on repeat in this house.
Nice.
Have you seen that video?
I have not, actually.
it's
I'll tell
great.
you, if she really wants to, you guys have Amazon Prime, right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Have you seen Lizzo's show on there?
No, haven't seen it.
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's something about big girls
Mhm.
with like GRRRRLS, big
Got it.
girls.
Mariana
But-
Sistine may have watched that.
Yeah, it's basically she is auditioning big girl dancers to tour with her.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah, check that out.
Will do. Yeah. So, yeah, she's been singing that constantly. It's stuck in my head and all that good stuff. So it's been pretty fun. And, yeah,
Love
definitely watch
Lizzo.
the video. There's some really funny scenes in there, and she's great. She's awesome.
And we got to get to the hi-fi to watch Helmet. I didn't look at the prices, but God, that would be an amazing show.
Yeah. Yes.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
We need to see Paige before. I may look into that and see how much tickets are. So,
Cool.
all right, we have one last task tonight, and it is. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this again. Yes, there it is. So, we're on issue number 4, and I put up because most people are not going to go and buy these issues because 1, 2, or they're going to be expensive. So Preludes and Nocturnes. This is the first graphic novel that you can get, and issue 4 is in there, and you can find it at the library or wherever. So, wait, hold on, I got to bug out of here so we can see that close up, Mr. Monday. Boom, there it is.
My version of Preludes and Nocturnes. This trade paperback is from 1991. 'cause
Attaboy.
I'm old as hell. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna dig into issue 4, where he journeys to hell.
He had a hell of a time.
He did have a hell of a time. We're just catching up. So he is out. He's escaped his imprisonment, and he's on the lookout for his items. So he got his sand previously, and now he's looking for his helm.
Yep.
Still does not have the ruby. We're getting teases where the ruby is and what's happened, but we are going to hell to get the helm back. What did you guys think of this issue?
No handbags either.
No.
Yeah, this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is our introduction to Neil Gaiman's version of Lucifer.
Yes.
And it's very different from oh gosh, what's his name? Is it Tom Ellis?
Yes.
It was on the TV show. The TV show is great. I absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It got a little wonky towards the end, but it
That
was
it did.
fun. That version is not this version. But yeah, it's fun. Sam Keith's artwork works really well for Hell, all the weird looking demons and all of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I did think we get a version of Etrigan, which I don't think looks amazing.
It's just a little different.
Yeah.
But the rhyming was more intricate. It wasn't as
obvious.
couplety. So
Yeah.
I dig that. I think that was really cool.
And there was like almost like a record scratch in here with the artwork, because you're reading, you're like, Sam Keith. That is not Sam Keith. For like 2 pages, the inker of Sam Keith's pencils, Mike Dringenberg, I guess.
Yeah.
takes over on the artwork, and it looks great. It's just very, very different from Sam Keith. The most striking difference, I think, is Beelzebub, because Dringenberg draws him as just like a giant fly, and then the very next page you have Sam Keith's version where he's like legs, a butt, and fly eyes.
I've been called worse.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a little, just a couple pages where it's a little different. But yeah, it's fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff going on here.
Yeah, it was clever because, he's still weak. I mean, he's not ready for a big battle. He's got his sand, which helps.
Yeah.
So it was nice that in Hell, he's, issued basically a battle of wits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he has not lost his wit and clearly outsmarts his opponent, which was really cool.
Outsmarts, is it Corenzen or Chorenzen?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it, but we'll ask Neil next week when we see him on Monday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. One thing that I thought was really cool, and I love that he keeps throwing in these little nods to the DC universe, but he did the anti-life equation. He talks about anti-life, and we go back, and so that's a really cool connection. Everybody knows all about anti-life and all that from all the crises events and all that. So what a clever little nod.
Yeah.
I guess back then we only had the one crisis at that point.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
because we didn't have Infinite and Final and now Dark Crisis coming up. So it was just the original. So that was very cool of him.
Yeah. So here's a question from the noob over here. So, at kind of the beginning of the story when he's traveling to Hell, he talks about how he can't bluff demons like he bluffed the Errant Dreams with Constantine.
Right.
So that said, when I read the issue with Constantine, it sounded like he did him the favor. So was he just kind of like giving a little temporary reprieve from his issues, and they'll creep back on him again? Is that kind of a precursor to that? I mean, am I reading into it too deep?
Wait, say that again. So you're saying the demons in Hell can't dream?
Well, no, he said that, he can't bluff demons like he bluffed Constantine, basically, is how I...
Yeah, I don't think that they have the ability that Constantine does in our world to do that to him.
Okay.
Because they're already in hell and agony, so I don't think he can do it to them.
Got it. It almost sounded like he said he didn't really give Constantine...
Well, no, he's saying, okay, so here he says, I cannot bluff demons as I bluffed the Errant Dreams with Constantine. So, like I think that means on our plane, the dreams that were tormenting the situation with Constantine, he was able to step in and kind of, fool the dreams into doing what he wanted them to do, or going away or acting a certain way.
I was reading it too poetically. Constantine was the subject that was bluffed, is how I was reading it.
He's talking about the dreams. He controls the dreams on our plane, but he cannot control the demons the same way.
Got it. Okay, so I needed to be more literal with this.
The demons are in hell. I mean, they can't.
Yeah.
There's no hope for them.
Right, that I could grasp, but that just the way that position kind of threw me off. So, cool. Good talk.
I thought this was cool too. As Etrigan is leading him down, we see a former lover of Dream, or
yes,
Kaikul, as she knew him. This was he saw Nada, and I believe she comes back into play in a later storyline.
I think you're right, yeah.
So,
but we don't know that because we're reading this for the first time for the listeners.
Yes, but I mean, it also, that scene kind of like, this is still like, this is your lead character. Like, wow, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, he's not releasing him. It's been a long time in our minds. It's been a long time, but it's not yet. In his time, it's what?
He says, "Yes, I still love you, but I have not yet forgiven you."
Yeah.
It's like, wow, all right, cool.
Holding on to grudges.
Man, I know what that's like.
Yeah, this is just. I think it's cool that we're following him. Like the first part of this journey is really
two-page
tight.
spread with all the. Yeah.
What?
But Monday just disappeared.
Oh,
Yeah. You guys froze up on me.
No, you froze up, buddy.
I know. That's how it works. I see what I see, and you see what you see. But
Was it a 2-page spread with hell
This,
and all the?
that one,
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
that is like peak Sam Keith right there.
Mhm.
All those weird shaped demons and all that. That was pretty sweet. And then you get into the challenge and all that, and
Yep.
it's cool storytelling. And I like how they pull him into the Hellfire Club, and Dream is like, what a stupid idea.
Right.
But then he's dressed as like a 20s guy or something.
Got his tux on. Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it sets up an adversarial relationship moving forward because he leaves, and but it's not over. You get that sense it's not over with Lucifer and hell.
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that, so
And
which is cool.
I would be remiss if I did not mention that Corazon, or whatever, however you say his name, he says, I am an anthrax, butcher bacterium, warm life destroying. So he turns into anthrax to kill the ox that Dream turned into. Thought that was funny. I was like, metal.
Yeah, it's a rap battle in hell.
Yeah, that really like the Battle of Wits did not take long. It was like a quick.
Yeah.
So the reader
rapid
did not
fire.
have to wait long for that to come to fruition. That was good.
Well, he said, I think Dream says something about like a hesitation can end the battle.
Yep.
So it had to be like quick.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm glad we're doing this because it's fun to read these. I wish we didn't have interruptions because us comic book readers need our weekly fix.
Yeah. I really liked how it ended too with, he's got his helm back and Lucifer's like, why should we let you leave? We don't have to let you leave.
Yep.
You have no power here. And he, says, what power would hell have if those here in prison were not able to dream of heaven? So, and then he just like parts the crowd as he walks through, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, they have to have a hope we can take away from them.
Yeah, and Lucifer swears, one day, my brothers, one day I shall destroy him.
Yeah.
So, pretty
that's
cool.
a great.
ending.
That setup is going to come back. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. All right. Well, gentlemen, that's a full show.
It is.
It is a full show. Next week, JPP, you issued the challenge 3 driving tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you thought of this, did you already have 3 in mind?
Well, I'm going to have to do some deeper digging, but I do have one in mind for sure.
All right. So if we want to find you beyond this show, where do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Phoenix Supernova. You spelled the Phoenix wrong, but that's okay. You can also find me at
How do you spell it?
justplainpaul.com. It's PHOENI.
OE.
Oh my God! Realize that's been on for weeks?
Man, well, apparently I can't read, so now I can.
Okay, hold
Well,
on.
now that I've been reading Sandman,
Wait. Who's the English teacher here?
Hey, I typed these as you were talking. Put these up, and he never said a word.
Well,
All right, here we go.
now that I'm reading Sandman,
Oh,
I'm
there
doing better
it
at
is.
spelling.
There's
Hey,
no
look at
problems.
that. Phoenix Supernova, yes. And please do not hack me. Our friends at Beauty and Chaos got hacked, and somebody's trying to peddle Bitcoin and all that kind of junk. So
Oh, wow.
I've had some choice words back and forth in messages with the person because they keep messaging me. So, and a harumph to you too. But anyway, you can also find me at justplainpaul.com. Sign up for the mailer. I got some new sounds and things that are slowly brewing, but I'll be posting updates as my busy life allows.
Very cool. So, so you got hacked as a result of that?
No, I did not. But what happened is the person that hacked his account keeps messaging me saying, hey, can you nominate me? I want to become an Instagram influencer. And I'm like, kindly choice words that I don't repeat here in public.
So do you guys get the ones where they say, hey, I'm sorry to contact you this way, but, and then they try to get you on Bitcoin?
Yep.
No.
God, that's annoying.
Yep. That's all annoying.
All right.
Every dang day.
Metalhead, Where can we find you?
Instagram at Metalhead Monday, MUNDY, right there, like it says right there.
Do you post any pictures of you on couches like, El Ray did?
No, I haven't been super active on there in a while, so I should probably do that. But
Yeah, we're due for a sultry comic book reading on the couch.
Yes, there you go, Monday. Photo shoot.
I need to get back into doing the Today I Read posts. I enjoyed doing that, but I haven't done it in a long time.
All right.
Start reading.
Look forward to it, everybody. And I'm Foggy's Pal. You can find me at Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me over at that wanderingsandwoolgathering.com page, writing some stuff for you. And you can find our show, Wanderings and Wool Gathering, on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, and SoundCloud. And you can find album, movie, TV, and comics reviews at wanderingsandwoolgathering.com. See you next week for episode 112 and Driving Tubes. Bye now.
Feel like it.